Hello, welcome back to our Devlog series for Kube Apocalypse. In the last video, I created some basic character movement, a basic map, a basic enemy, and some shooting. That's great, but that's only the skeleton for a video game. I'm going to keep developing and I will show you the progress along the way. The vision for this game is that the player defends himself by going through waves of zombies as they come and attack him. Once the player completes each round of zombies, he will be given a menu in which he can purchase more guns, ammunition, power-ups, and so forth with the coins that he collected from killing the zombies. When I was thinking about how I wanted to make the wave spawner, I needed to think about how I wanted the waves to get progressively more difficult. Not only did I want to add more difficult zombies in the waves, but I also wanted to change the rate of how many zombies spawned. So do I want to do that in a linear fashion or an exponential fashion? So, for example, if I were to go with a linear approach, that would mean with every new wave, I would add, for example, maybe 2 more zombies to the current amount. This would mean as the player plays, not only does he have more aggressive enemies, but he also has a larger number of them. But going on a linear fashion may not be the best. For example, I could use this exponential growth and decay function. On round 1, 2, and 3, you may only have 2, 3, and 4 zombies spawn, but at round 10 you may have 20 zombies spawn, and around 11 you might have 30 zombies spawn if I were to be using such an exponential growth and decay equation. After carefully considering both options, I decided to go with the exponential growth equation. As the waves progress, I want to encourage the player to buy new guns, get better power-ups, and ultimately increase their playing style. While a linear fashion would still support this, I think that if they purchased a really good gun, that they might be able to get through another 10 rounds super easily if it wasn't an exponential growth, meaning they always need to keep improving if it was an exponential growth. At least that's the idea. I'm not sure how this is going to work in execution, but for now this is the equation that I've decided to stick with. So I got to work programming a wave spawner. Bracky's had a pretty good tutorial on how to create a wave spawner. I took that code and I migrated it to make it an infinite wave spawner, and I introduced the ability to add different zombies as the waves get harder. Here is me setting it up. If you look on the right side, you can see that I can create an enemy to start spawning at round 2, and then I can set the probability that they spawn. So this way, as we get into higher levels, I can set really high probability for really angry and mean enemies. So that should make the player feel as if the game is getting more difficult. Next up is the death animation. Something that can be widely overlooked in developing a video game is a user feedback. When the user destroys the enemy, I want to tell them that they've successfully destroyed the enemy and let them know that they've done something good. So I'm going to do this by a really cool particle explosion animation whenever they kill a zombie that hopefully feels rewarding to the player. I'll be doing this by creating a particle system through Unity. I will create that as a prefab, and whenever the enemy is destroyed, I'll instantiate the particle effect for about 2 or 3 seconds and then destroy that particle effect, and so that way we can clean up the scene and give this really, hopefully awesome feeling animation whenever you kill the zombie. Here you can see me writing that code and adding it to the game. And when I went to go test it, it looked okay. It just wasn't quite what I was going for. So I went back, I tweaked that animation, and I came back with this. And I think this looks so much better. When I finished this, I figured it was time to call it a day. So I grabbed some lunch, played some ukulele, and finished the evening out with some sports and dinner with friends. In the current state of the game, whenever you shoot an enemy, you get this super awesome hit effect coming out of the enemy, which is great, but what happens when that bullet hits a wall? I love the animation so much for hitting enemies that I decided to carry that animation over to hitting walls. So you also know whenever a bullet hits a wall, you get this super awesome effect that I just love so much, so I wrote that into the game. It looks like this, and I'm really happy with it. With the game focused on progression, that means that you need to be able to have different types of guns that shoot different bullets and do different things. So I went back to that system and I've decided to rework the shooting system to where now you're required to have a gun, and then each gun has different characteristics like a fire rate, what type of bullet they shoot, and how much damage they take. So this way you can pick up different guns and each one can be unique, and I can quickly create each gun to do what I'd like it to do. The idea is that as the game progresses, you pick up coins and you can use these coins to purchase better guns as the rounds progress. Here you can see me creating an Uzi where I tell its fire rate and what type of bullet it shoots. Then I can assign this to the player and he can pick up the gun, and it's really easy to create. With that out of the way, I wanted to work on rewarding the player for eliminating enemies from the game, and I've decided to do this by dropping these little square cube coins. I think it fits the theme of the game really well and just adds more to the chaos of the game, with coins flying at you, explosions going on everywhere, shooting enemies. I think it's going to be super fun when I get this implemented correctly, so I started to work on it. The coin has a mass and I'm telling it to put a force toward the player, but I ended up actually creating this orbiting coin. It's funny, it's not my intention, so I'll need to fix that. I solved that by making the force toward the player really strong and then creating drag to set a max speed on the object, and it works really well, so now I have this perfect following coin. Instead of giving you a point for every enemy destroyed, I used a coin system to encourage the player to get up and walk around and collect these coins. I also made them have collision with walls, so again you have to get up and go collect the coins. And with that, I think it is super awesome. I feel so good playing this game. It's fun so far, and there's a lot happening which keeps me entertained to watch, and I'm really enjoying it, so I'm really looking forward to the future of this development. That's all I have for this devlog. If you like where the game's going, please leave a comment, press the subscribe button, and it would really be appreciated if you could share this video with other people on Facebook or YouTube or wherever else you might be. Again, thank you for watching this log, and I hope y'all all have a fantastic day.